is your life, so always be strong. Keep moving on. Your dreams will always come true. You'll get there if you believe. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. You're listening to Pastor Lanre Ajanaku.
Auto your mind. Your mind is like a pilot. Don't allow your mind to take over to take over your focus. Why? Because don't allow your mind to always dictate to you where you focus in. Because the mind always operates in line with what we see. The five senses. What you see, what you hear, what you taste, and what you feel. The five senses. The mind operates in line with the five senses. So if, for example, you continue to listen to news every day, and when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you listen to is news. And I've looked at news. It's not always good news most of the time. When you listen to any news, because good news hardly sell. So you have to tell you the bad news. Oh, there is so much flood. Oh, there is earthquake. Oh, there is this, there is that. No. Once you listen to it, that's enough. Try to listen to those things that can help your focus, that can help you to focus on that which is right. Don't allow the autopilot of your mind to dictate your mood. If you are unhappy, check what you are thinking about. If you're happy, check what you are thinking about. Your mood is a reflection of what you are focused on. And what you focus on is a reflection of what you feel. That is why it is always said, Philippians chapter 4 verse 8 is a very strong scripture. So whatever that is pure, whatever that is clean, whatever that is of good report, whatever thing that is of virtue, he says, think on these things. Think on it. Don't think, whatever that's of good report, think about it. Think about it. Let your mind be focused on it. Let your mind be strongly focused on it. And that is the truth. Whatever your mind is focused on is what you eventually attract to yourself. That is one major thing you have to know. Whatever you are focused on is what you attract to yourself. Now, if you focus so much on divorce in marriage, if you focus so much on being broke, you realize that eventually it's a matter of time you will have it. But if you focus so strongly on a healthy marriage, sooner than later you will realize that you will see it play out in your life. That is why it's very important, the company that we keep, so that we keep hearing the same positive things. Hear the right thing, and you realize that once you continue to hear the right thing, and you don't allow the unconscious part of your mind to focus on that wrong thing, you eventually get what you desire. Now let's look at it. Let's do a brief exercise. Everybody, just look around. Let's everybody look around. And if you are watching also, if you are listening to this message via the internet or via YouTube, also look around. And I want you to look around and look at everything that is, let's look at it now. Look at everything that is black. That black seems to be. Now everybody, just look around. Look around. Look around. Just look at anyone that's black. Black. Okay? Have you all noticed something that is black?
Yeah.
Have you all noticed it? Huh?
Yeah.
Good. Now close your eyes. Now, having closed your eyes, can you picture the things that you have seen that are black? The things that you've seen that they are all black? Can you see them? I mean in your mind now. Can you see them? You can see them. Good. Now, can you see anything that you have looked at that is blue? Can you see anything that you looked when you were looking around that is blue? Can you see anything that is blue? No? Okay. Can you see anything that is red? Because red is still a shouting color. Can you see anything that is red? Now open your eyes. Now look around again. Can you see blue and red around you? Just look around again. Look now. Look around again. Can you see some red, blue? Can you see them around?
Yes.
Okay, what happened? It's focus. It's been said that focus brings blindness. When you are focused on one particular thing, every other thing, you are blind to it. So if you are focused on what is not right, you become blind to everything that is right. When I talk to people, say, oh, you guys, you live in Edmonton, in the north part of Canada. Woo, it's very cold. You could focus on that alone, that is cold, and you would not see every other good thing that is within Edmonton. So, you have to know. That's why that songwriter says, count your blessings, name them one by one. Name them one by one. You close your eyes, and you're able to see just that. Just the color that I called to us. What color was that? Black. And in your mind, you could only see black. But does it mean that there were no red around? There were red. Does it mean there was no yellow? There were other colors. But because I said, everybody look and look for black. So what did we all do? We focused on black. And that is how it is. That's how the power of focus works. Whatever you focus on is what you get. If you focus intensely on whatever you focus on, is what you get. So, focus leads to blindness. So, be very careful what you focus on. Be very careful what your friends focus on. If your close friends are always focusing on things that are not right, and they're always talking about it to you, you have to, take a little twist to think that, no, I choose not to focus on this. If you focus consistently on pains, you will realize that it will magnify itself. The only thing you will see will be pains. And that is the truth. So it is very, very important. It's very, very important that we have to know exactly what you focus on, because whatever you focus on is what you attract to yourself. So most of us, most people, our focus is derived from our convictions and our beliefs. We have to know that. Most of what we focus on is based on our beliefs. Oh, nobody ever makes it. Or these people, nobody ever gets to that height. No. Most focus is derived from our beliefs. That is why we all have to check our belief system. Now, for the fact that you learned something some time ago does not mean it is right. It doesn't mean it is right. There are times you need to unlearn what you have learned, what we have learned. And that is the first process. You know, it has been proven that belief is from two areas. Or you can cure the challenge of beliefs through three ways. Number one, if you have learned something wrongly, before you can get it right, you have to first of all unlearn what you have learned. Now, a lot of people, we have a wrong mindset, a wrong belief, and then we now learn the right belief with it. So we have a mixed bag. So once in a while, when you are high, you get the right beliefs. Oh yeah. Now, when you are a bit down, the wrong belief shows up. So that's the one, number one. On learning the first one, the wrong belief. The second one is, there are some people, some of us, who have learned the wrong belief, but we did not delete it out, like I said, but mixed it. And then for children, and that's why I'm very passionate about young people, children. If you teach a child a right belief from the onset, it comes out beautiful. Do you know there are some children who don't have fear in them?
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah. Because they've never been taught to be fearful. But if I should x-ray our mind, all the adults that are sitting here, if I should play out our minds here, you will realize that, whoa, a lot of people have so many fears. And what brings those fears? The things that we have learned wrongly, our wrong beliefs. So before you ever think of learning anything right, the first thing you have to first of all is to delete the wrong belief. Delete them out. First of all, get them out. Because if you have the wrong belief, you cannot get it. And how can you control this? How can you discover that you have a wrong belief? Is by you asking prompting questions. Ask yourself questions. ask yourself questions. Maybe you are shaving in the morning or you are taking your bath. Just ask yourself questions. I hear people ask questions like, oh, why is all this happening to me? When you hear such questions like that, it is a wrong question. It's a wrong, you're asking a question wrong. Why is all this thing happening to me? Now, your body system, the subconscious, begins to tell you, give you answers. Why it has happened to you. Oh, someone say, oh, well, your parents, some time ago, they did so bad. You know, the law of karma says, whatever a man sows, he will reap. That is one. Why is this happening to me? Say, oh, because, oh, it's happening to me because, oh, maybe because that time I offended that person. Your mind will produce answers for you. Why is it happening to me? But how can you ask such a question? Why don't you ask yourself, why am I so favored? If you ask the same question, why am I so favored? Do you know that your mind also will give you answers? I mean, what you have simply done is just to change your focus. Why am I so favored? Say, yeah. And some answers begin to come to you as well. There is no question that is in your mind. Every question that is asked is pointing to a focus. It's pointing to a focus. It's pointing to a focus. It's pointing to a focus. That is why I want to repeat again, your past must not determine your future. Your past does not. For the fact that you have had a broken relationship before does not mean you can't have a best of relationships. For the fact that you have had a broken marriage or somebody walks out on you from that marriage does not mean that you can't have a better person. If he walks out of the marriage, there are positive things that are there. What if he's still there with you and you're not able to actualize your dreams and your goal? For the fact that you, in everything, you must be able to see everything that happens in life. There is a positive aspect of it. And what I'm trying to get across to us today is that focus on those positive aspects. Does it mean that those negative things may not come? I'm not saying it may not. I'm not saying it may not come because we don't live in a perfect world. But when it comes, just push it aside and focus on the positive. Just make up your mind to focus on the positive. Questions. So you have questions helps us to determine, helps us to know exactly the position and where we fix in our focus. Why is all this thing happening to me? Questions that we should run away from, put them away totally. Why am I so fat? Why am I getting so fat? Why am I getting on the big side? Why don't you ask questions like, what can I do to reduce my weight and then enjoy the process of reducing this weight? There are two questions there. Somebody's asking, why am I adding so much weight? The other person is asking, how can I reduce this weight and enjoy the process of reducing the weight? Are we there? These are the things that helps our focus. And all these things goes a long way to help us as we move on. Questions can change your focus. So therefore, delete negative questions. Delete them off. Get rid of them. And set questions that helps you to get to the place where you intend to get to. What can I do to make myself happy today? When you answer such questions, you realize that your system, your focus begins to move from things that will make you unhappy and begin to focus on things that will make you happy. You know, it's always greener at the other side. Until you get there. That's the way it is. So, you have to look at your focus and know exactly what you are looking at. What can I do to make myself happy? Focus on it. What can I do to make my marriage work? Focus on it. What can I do to improve my finances? Focus on it. These are very important questions that we need to ask ourselves from time to time. So when we talk in terms of focus, questions, things that will help us in this area. For example, concerning our health, you can ask, focus on good health. When it comes to your health, please focus on good health. Don't focus on sickness. Don't. Focus on good health. Don't give in to thoughts of sickness. Even if your parents actually had that sickness. I've had some people say, oh, my dad had diabetics, or my dad had high blood pressure, and we hear things like it runs in the family, so therefore I'm also expecting it. And do you know how we show that we're expecting it? By the food we eat. No, my dad had this, I have to run away from this food, I have to run away from that food. That means you're expecting it. It's a matter of time, it's going to come. But focus on health. Focus on health. Bearing in mind, knowing fully that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above what you are able to ask or think. Whatever you focus on, you attract to yourself. Oh, people die at this certain age in my family, and then you are approaching that age, you are scared. No. I bet you, if you are scared and you live in that fear, you will die. I mean, it's your body system powers down at that position, but just focus away from it. Because the same thing they focused on, they got that result, you're also making that mistake. Change your focus away from it. Obey health rules, don't break it, but focus on the right things. What of finances? You know, for a person, for you to make it financially or to grow your finances, you can approach it in 2 ways or in 3 ways. Number one, you can reduce your expenses and your income remains the same. You realize that you will be able to improve your revenue, your money, your financial position. Am I right? For example, let's take it hypothetically. Possibly you are earning each month, assuming you are earning $20,000 each month, and you spend every month $15,000. That means you have a savings of how much? $5,000. Good. Now, assuming you now decide to say, I'm going to cut off on some expenses, which I think is just a waste, and you cut it off and you reduce your expenses to $10,000, how much would you be able to save? 10. You don't need rocket science to tell you that. You don't need a prophet. You don't need somebody to come and prophesy to you. You know. Now, on the flip side, if you continue to increase your expenses and your income stays the same way, what happens? If you go bankrupt. Now, if you do either of the two, you could get a good thing. But do you know one thing? Many times, if you focus on your expenses alone, that, oh, my expense, I'm focusing on it. I want it to be reduced. I'm not talking of waste now. I'm not talking of waste. You are always checking the water, everybody's using. Oh, put off the tap. Turn off the tap. Put off the lights. No. I'm not telling you that you should turn on the light, but just take your life easy. The tap is running, just without having passion behind it. Just put it off. The light is on in your son's room, walk in there. Don't make so much noise about it. Just put it off. Now, if you continue to focus on the expenses, and I want to compress it, I want to push it down, do you know that you will never be rich? Why? Because you are focused on bringing down the expense. Now, you will eventually bring down that expense, but what will happen to your revenue? It stays the same way. But you know what? If you focus, if you just say, okay, no wastage, don't focus on so much of the expenses. But now focus on how you can increase. Ask yourself, how can I increase my income from 20,000 to 50,000? Immediately you ask that question, your focus does what? Your focus change. Then you will let loose your mind. Your mind begins to process. Okay, you want to increase this? Okay, you can do this. You want to do this? You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Immediately as you begin to process it, because your focus changed, you realize that with time, as long as you focus on the revenue, you realize that your income begins to rise, and that expense does what? It stays where it is, where you have not. But if you continue to focus on the expense, put off the tap, turn off the tap, put off the light, or what's the gas in the car looking like? Man, it's going to red. Where am I going to? Okay, I'm not going to. I intend to go visit. I'm not going again. No. Instead of focusing on that expense side, please, I want to plead with you. Focus on, ask questions like, how can I improve my revenue? How can I increase my revenue? Immediately you ask that question, what happens to your focus? Your focus changes and begins to zero in on how you can improve and grow your income at the expense, and you realize that your expense will stay the same. So your focus then. So when it comes to finances, focus more on the income. Focus more on the income. You know, we could have so many teachings on finances, and yeah, let us reduce our costs, and you get to a point when you are beginning to look like, okay, how much does this food cost? When it get, okay, this food that we've bought, when will it finish? And the children are eating, don't pour the milk! I mean, the focus is getting wrong. But when you focus on the revenue, and you're not talking of wastage now, focus on the revenue, by the time you grow in your revenue, you realize that you are more relaxed. And once you are relaxed, you can think through. You can think of how you can build more of your revenue. So focus on the right thing. Focus on your income. Focus on your income. You know, why do people who focus so much on need never get out of, they become needy. That is the truth. And it's often said that we give not because we have plenty, but we have plenty because we give. We give not because we have excess, but we have excess because we give. Because people who are having excess and are giving, they are people who are focused on how to grow that thing. So I want us to get this area very, very right, very, very correctly. And one thing we have to bear in mind when it comes to finances is, please, let's learn not to compare ourselves with others. Comparing themselves with themselves, they are not wise. Even the scripture makes it clear. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12. It makes it clear. It says people who compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise. Because once you start comparing yourself with others, you will begin to run another man's race. You begin to run another person's race. You know? And I mean, there's no need running somebody else's race. Run your own race. Some time ago, I had a story of somebody who was taking time to jog, you know, doing his morning fitness exercise. And he was jogging. And normally, to his house, he was jogging back to his house, which is just about 4 blocks away. So he saw somebody who was possibly, I think, about 50 meters away from him, who was also jogging. So he looked at that guy, and right within the inside, he said, can you beat that guy that is in front of you? He said, sure, I can beat him. And the next thing he did, he began to pace up. This guy that he was chasing, he didn't know he was chasing him. So he kept running hard. And this other guy was also going. When he got to the 4th block, where he was to turn to his house, he had not caught up with that guy. You know what he did? He continued to follow the guy. Because he just wanted to prove a point that I want to catch up with him and leave him behind. So the guy eventually caught up with him after 3 blocks away. So when he now caught up with him and he passed him, he now looked at the guy, he now has a sense of satisfaction. Then he now looked at himself. Is this not foolish? He now had to walk back 3 blocks to where, and you know what? That is exactly how it is when we don't have our focus right. When we place our focus and we continue to compare ourselves with others. You want to compare yourself with the Joneses. You want to compare yourself, oh, this Mr. Jones just got this clothes, it's awesome, I also must get it. No. You realize that when you begin to leave, when we begin to change focus, when we don't put our focus right, you are trying to compare with yourself with somebody who does not even know you exist. Yeah. The person is not even aware that you exist. And you are busy chasing that person. I'll tell you another story quickly. There's this friend I had, and we're talking about we're talking about his sister. And she was saying, look, my sister is such a weird person. And I said, why did you say she's such a weird person? I said, maybe you may be wrong. He said, look, let me tell you a story of what happened to her. She said, she went to a restaurant some time ago, a fast food joint, where you can buy, sit, and eat. And she said, our sister got there, placed her order. And when she placed the order, another guy came and placed the same order, but bought extra meat, extra meat in his plate. So when the sister looked at her, the guy, she said inside her, she just said, you think you can buy extra meat? Okay, give me one more extra meat. So she bought the meat. So they went down and went to their various table, and they kept eating. And inside of her, she was saying, oh, you think you have the stuff? When the guy finished his meal, he felt like having more. So the guy got up and went to get for more and paid. The lady, she was telling me her sister's story. She said, her sister also looked at the guy and said, oh, you think you can buy more? She also got up. I'm telling you a true story. She also went and bought more and went to her sister and said, yeah, you think you can buy more? I also can buy more. This guy never knew she existed. She was I am telling you. So when she narrated the story, and I said, that is my sister for you. I said, oh, sure, she's weird. I agree with you. I said, yeah, she's really weird. Because the guy was just on his own. And here, because, where did the thing come? Because the guy came and placed the same order of same food that she placed. And you know, that's the way many people are. Somebody gets something that you have, you think he actually got it to prove a point that he also can have it. So what do you do next? I'm going to get a bigger one. Oh no! You're not focused. You're not focused. And it just runs through life. So in finances, we must learn never to compare ourselves with ourselves. What of
Take dominion on all God's creations. Never give up. Your destiny's your life. So always be strong. Keep moving on. Your dreams will always come true. You'll get there if you believe. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. So rise up and be strong. Hold on and take your place. You're listening to Pastor Lanre Ajanaku